The LGBTQ community in Poland has a message for the world: we don't feel safe here. This comes after a newspaper distributed LGBT Free Zone stickers. People were attacked in an equality march, and a government minister defended the archbishop of Krakow, who called the community a rainbow plague. We asked the team at Euronews to explain what's going down in Poland.
Marching for equality, these people in Białystok in Poland were attacked. This was the first ever Pride March in that city. The people there attacked by counter-demonstrators, the police detaining a number of far-right activists. Earlier, last month, we saw these distributed. They might look like normal stickers, but these are LGBT Free Zone stickers, in fact, that this newspaper in Poland printed so users could display them. And then most recently, we've seen comments from a Polish archbishop in Krakow describing what he calls a rainbow plague descending on Poland to conquer people's souls. Those comments defended by the government minister for humanitarian aid. This is Poland in 2019. People there from the LGBT community, well, they're scared. And speaking to us here in the Cube, that's our social media news desk right here at the heart of Euronews, they have been saying to us that this is a scary time. Many of them don't want to show their faces and identify on television in case people find out who they are, and they might fear they will be targeted. But one of those who did speak to us is MAREK. He is one of the only openly gay politicians in the country. Well, this is what he said to us when we spoke to him.
Well, I'm one of the few openly gay politicians in Poland. We have lost the feeling that we are equal, that we are protected by the state. And even though in theory we are in the middle of Europe, in a European country in the EU, we have lost this support. We have lost this very basic infrastructure that every human being should have in a democratic state.
And this is MAGDA. She's a very prominent LGBT activist in Poland. On Instagram here, leading demonstrations against those comments by the Archbishop, which many people see as being supported by not only the Catholic Church in the country, but many prominent politicians, even up to the government level. Well, MAGDA, she shared her thoughts with us, that fear we could hear in her voice as well, but she does have some hope for the future. This is what she said to us.
We don't feel safe, to be honest. For me, for example, it was always obvious that I have some kind of rainbow, the things on me, like a bag or like a pins. And now I'm thinking if it's safe to wear something like this. But I always looking for good sides when it comes to what is happening now. And I think that the big outrage, I hope that it's like the moment of change really important for our country.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.